Men just kill themselves and no one cares. Men's mental health, and it's the biggest killer for men between like 21 and 45. And no one talks about it. No one even mentions it, lad. Men just kill themselves and no one cares. We need to change it. Women talk to each other. There's no stigma on women. They sit around and have a cup of tea and have a jangle. I'd much rather my friend come to me and speak to me and cry on my shoulder than me have to cry when I'm carrying his coffin a week later.
I would think about suicide every night after work. I'd come home, and just because I couldn't talk to anyone, it was a lack of just communicating with other people, or just help. I was just trying to reach out for help, but I just couldn't get help because I was so used to being told that I have to toughen up. So I had to figure out how I could fix myself. I couldn't get any help from anyone else. And I wanted to kind of create like a platform where I can motivate anyone in terms of like what occupation they do. And, you know, everyone's struggling with something and everyone has their story. And I want everyone's story to be heard. Creating what motivated you has really helped me with my mental health.
Hey, champ. How you been, huh? It's Christmas Eve. Another day, another dollar, huh? Hey, I don't know if anyone's been saying this much to you, but you did good. I'm proud of you. I mean that, really. I'm proud of you. Another day down. Another day living. I'm really proud of you. You're so much stronger than people give you credit for, I swear. Hey, if you're gonna be alone on Christmas, hey, don't worry, man. I'm right there with you. I'm proud of you. You stay strong, soldier. You hear me, champ?
I think of how life would be without me. I wouldn't have one to live anymore, but the ones who love me would suffer endlessly, or so I think. I think if I left today, I wouldn't enjoy all that I love. I couldn't watch someone great in the afterlife because what if feelings aren't a thing? I can't rant about love because what if finding it when I cross over is impossible? I won't hold my favorite books or look my cousins in the eyes when giving life-changing advice. I won't hold my mom's hand or feel the presence of my brothers. I just sit and I think. I think if I did leave today, what would my first love think? I think they would regret all words left unsaid, which is why I will never leave anything lingering in my heart, because if I think of these things, if I sit and I ponder of what is to happen to those who claim to love me, if I decided to go through with my darkest dreams, but yet again, I just think. I grasp the flesh of my skin, hoping to feel alive and aching to find fulfillment within the four walls I'm constantly between. It nearly feels impossible. I sit and I think because thinking isn't actually doing, because doing means it's real, but does thinking also make it real, or is it just a dream filled with fog that is too hard to see? Thinking is just as real. It's just as raw. Thinking is what everyone is too afraid to say because it's too deep, and too deep is what everyone is afraid of, but me, I am one who is always too deep. I feel too deep, think too deep, I am too deep in this hole I cannot crawl my way out of. I think and get lost between my reality and my dreams, but am I wrong for fantasizing about the darkness? Feeling okay in my sins, appreciating all that is wrong, yet loving every small sight of light to come. I'm hopelessly romantic, yet always find myself stuck between what to do and what not. Reality and a fantasy world, I just sit here with myself and I think. That's all that is left of me.
You only listen to your fucking friends. I don't relate to you. I don't relate to you, no. 'Cause I never.
We're born alone. We die alone. And in between, we spend our lives looking for something, connection. That's all we want. Every once in a while, we might find it in a true friend. Many friendships will come only to fade as quickly as a firework, but some, a rare and precious few, turn life up to 11 and keep it there. You gotta hold on to friends like these because, just like air, you'll miss them when they're gone.
I mean, let's be honest. If they truly knew what you were up against right now, they would be wondering how you were still smiling, how you were still doing the things you're doing. That says a hell of a lot about you.
I really fucking hope this goes viral because every single person that struggles with their mental health, more specifically anxiety, needs to hear this. Basically, Mel Robbins interviewed this renowned neuroscientist who explains exactly what anxiety is and why and how we can heal it. I just want to share with you guys the takeaways that I got because I think it was actually life-changing. He talks about how 80% of our brain is developed by the time that we're 5. So most of the anxiety that we are experiencing right now is because of those early experiences in childhood that maybe we haven't worked through that are now stored in our body and playing out in our adult life. He talks about how our bodies don't lie, but our minds lie to us all the time. And so what we feel in our body, which we say is anxiety, is really an alarm, right? It's like a fear response. And the reason your anxiety gets so bad is because when you have that fear and you have that feeling of alarm, you essentially get scared of it and you want it to make sense. You want to understand where it's coming from. Why am I feeling this in my body? Why am I overwhelmed? And because you can't tolerate or understand it, your anxiety gets worse and you start to worry stack, which basically just means you have worry after worry after worry. There was so much fucking value and I have a million other things to say. So I will give you guys the whole fucking cliff notes. If you want a part 2, just comment, let me know.
I just want to be happy, but I just can't. Sejujurnya orang yang mau bunuh diri itu sebenarnya mereka tuh nggak mau mati, mereka cuma kesepian aja sih sebenarnya menurut aku. Aku itu orangnya nggak bisa merasakan kebahagiaan yang sangat tulus. Aku merasa aku cuma punya si satu orang ini. Ini emang nggak ada orang yang peduli sama gue gitu. Orang ini tuh ngebuat aku menjadi versi kayak bahagia aku, terbaik aku. Dia tahu kalau hidup aku tuh sehancur apa. Turns out ternyata dia tidak menepati semua janji-janji. Aku selalu berusaha untuk cari sisi positif di setiap apapun yang aku lakukan, tapi aku tidak bisa. Makanya pada saat itu tuh aku selalu merasa kayak udahan aja kali ya, gitu. Kayaknya udahan aja kali ya. 2023, 2022 itu kayak gue nggak bakal survive deh.
Sometimes, your mind plays tricks on you. It can tell you you're no good, that it's all hopeless. But I've discovered this. You are loved and important, and you bring to this world things that no one else can.
Looking at me, tell me, what do you see? Yes, I lost my mind. They're looking at me, will I ever be free? Have I crossed the line? Running through my head, running through my head, running through my.
Of course I've got trust issues. Because when I let somebody in, they prove to me that I shouldn't have. When I let somebody get close to me, they prove to me that I shouldn't have. And when somebody tells me that they love me and they'll never hurt me, they go out and do it. They break my heart. They stab me in the back. So it proves to me that I can't trust anybody else. But somebody will say to you, they'll never hurt you. Somebody can say to you, they love you. At the same time, they're hiding it from you. At the same time, they're lying to you. At the same time, they're cheating on you. That's why actions always speak louder than words. I can't listen to people anymore because I can't trust their words. And that's why we build up our walls. That's why we sit in our castles alone. We don't want to let anybody else in because we don't want to go through that pain.
Like, what is mental health? How would you explain it to someone that probably doesn't really understand when people talk about mental health?
Yeah. So yeah, a good question to begin with. So mental health is all your attributes, your behaviors, your thought patterns that govern how your mind functions. So that's quite a complex definition, but essentially it's how balanced your mind is with all the chemicals that bathe the mind, all the transmitters that get fired from the brain. How are you on the scale, mood scale? How are you on the confidence scale? How are you sleeping? How are you interacting? So essentially it's your inward interaction with yourself and your outward interaction with yourself as well. So it's we know with depression you get withdrawn, you start ruminating, so that's more inward.
Okay.
So it's inward dysfunction. Psychosis is more of outward dysfunction, psychosis or mania. So you've got inward and outward. So it's essentially how you interact with yourself,
How you interact with yourself,
yeah, and how you interact with other people essentially. So how you understand yourself, your behaviors, your thought patterns, your sleeping, eating, and general day-to-day activities, and how you come across other people as well in terms of social interactions, relationships, friendships.
So we all know, we all have a form of mental health. We all have to look after our mental health. How is one meant to sort of acknowledge if something is not going right? Because from what I've looked onto on the internet, people talking about depression, a lot of the times they say, like, looking back, I realized I had depression, but at the time they didn't realize. So how are we meant to acknowledge that I'm going through depression, or I'm suffering from anxiety, or things like that?
So quite a big part of self-diagnosis is to take a step back and say, what's my normal? Am I sleeping more or less than normal? Am I socializing more or less than normal? It's all about your norm, because your normal could be 7 hours of sleep a day. But if you're going from 7 to 4, for you that's abnormal, so you've dropped your sleep. What's the reason for that? And then it's actually speaking to the people, your partner, your wife, your parents. How have I been over the last 3 months? Have I been more talkative, less talkative? How, what do you see in me? And that's why sometimes we have that bias. It's called cognitive clouding.
Okay.
Your eyesight, your vision, your kind of mind's eye, your introspection gets clouded, because you wouldn't necessarily know that you're sleeping more, eating more, etc. So it's good to ask other people, how have I been? Am I dressing like I used to? Am I on time for work? Am I more lazy? Am I getting sluggish? Am I, forgetting things? Has my memory been? All these things point, if they're going abnormal, all these things point to something going on in the background.
Fight for love if you all need me halfway. And I say that I'm through, but this song's still for you. All I want is love.
Stop asking him if he's okay. Stop telling him that he's gonna be all right. Because it's not. He wakes up every single day with the same results. Nothing's changed. Nothing's gonna be all right. Stop giving him false hope. He needs facts. He wakes up every single day not knowing what kind of life he's gonna live, where he's gonna go. So no, he's not all right. Stop asking him, because you should already know this.
Just feel so alone, tired, drained of putting a fake smile for people, crying at night, wanting to feel happy.
was here earlier. I just need another hug.
Oh, no problem. What's going on?
Just stressful stuff with my family and yeah, going through it.
You don't need to explain. I love you.
Thank you.
No problem.
So sweet for doing this.
No, I've been depressed and really down and out, so I don't want people to feel alone.
I'm feeling so alone with my anxiety.
What's going on?
I've been struggling with panic attacks and I feel like nobody understands me. They call me crazy.
What's your name?
Laura.
I'm thinking of you, Laura. I love you.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
My girlfriend and I broke up recently and it's been hard, but trying to push through it, I guess. Yeah.
You're gonna get through this.
I'm glad you're here.
Love you, bro.
I had 3 years out the ring. I was down with depression and anxiety. I was drinking on a daily basis. I was gone. I was finished. The only place I ever thought that I'd ever end up was in a padded room somewhere. It was terrible. I was thinking about suicide every day, and I had nothing to be upset about. I was heavyweight champion of the world. I was 27 years old. I had money, fame, glory, a family, achievements, kids, everything running so smooth, but it didn't matter because mental health will bring you to your knees if you let it.
Everything you ever need, and it's here right in front of you. This is where you wanna be. For you, I bleed myself dry. For you, I bleed myself dry.
Somebody get a doctor! Help! Nurse!
What does it mean to be a man?
It means that no matter what you do, it's never good enough. We're supposed to pay for dinner, we're supposed to open doors for them, we're supposed to help them carry heavy stuff, we're supposed to call them ma'am, and nowadays that's insulting. Means your mental health does not fucking matter. Male suicides make up 3 times the amount of female suicides. I was in the hospital for 11 days on suicide watch. They put me in counseling for maybe 2 months and then they just sent me on my way. And guys don't open up about their problems because nobody fucking cares. You're just told to get up and walk it off. So why even bother opening up about it, right? It means every time you meet a woman, she automatically thinks that you could possibly be a predator and they have to carry pepper spray and tasers to defend themselves against you. No matter how good we are, a woman could easily just divorce us, take half our money and our kids. If you're unhappy in a relationship, that's your own damn problem. But if a woman's unhappy in a relationship, that's also your fucking problem. Basically, you better be able to provide or you're a loser.
I'm damaged as fuck. And that's why I treat everybody with kindness. Because I know what it's like to feel worthless. And why would I ever want to do that to anybody else?
I think the worst kind of people are the people who think mental health is a joke or not real. You know, things like depression aren't real. What kills me is there's so many people who constantly think about dying, but in reality, what they truly want is to actually start living. Depression, anxiety, it's like a bomb in your head you're trying to diffuse. You have no clue where it is and you don't know how much time you have left. But so many people are trying to invalidate that feeling by saying, oh, you have nothing to be depressed about. Just think better thoughts. Pretty much invalidating the feeling you never asked for. It's not like people want to be depressed or people want to have anxiety. It's so important to surround yourself with supportive people. And sometimes the most unsupportive people in your life are the people related to you. Make sure the circle around you is supporting you. Make sure you're getting support from, the medical attention you need. Sometimes the people closest to you aren't the best for you. Mental health is real. Make sure you take it seriously.
It's not that I want to commit suicide, bro. I would never kill myself. I would never do that shit, but it's just that, I don't want to be here, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be alive and shit, you feel me? But at the same time, I'm grateful to wake up and have a new day, you know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to that, you know what I'm saying?
Here's why men's mental health goes unnoticed. As a man, if you have any emotion whatsoever, you're perceived as weak. You don't want to burden anybody else with your problems. So, you shove that shit so far down that you just don't even know what it is anymore. The problem with that is, when you stack so much shit on top of each other, you just become numb.
I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true.
But when I wake up, I see you with me. And you say, as long as I'm here, no one can hurt you.
Don't let them see what goes down in the kitchen. Places, places, get in your places. Throw on your dress and put on your doll faces. Everyone thinks that we're perfect. Please don't let them look through the curtains. Why would you lie? And then I realized you're just as naive as I am. Oh, you're so traumatized, it makes me want to cry. You dumb bitch, I loved you, I loved you, I loved you, it's true. I wanted to be you and do what you do. I lived here, I loved here, I bought it, it's true, I'm so embarrassed.
It's a different kind of crime. You think that you're at home, Really pour these jars of gasoline, locks all of the doors. Waking up and wishing that you're down. It's something that I pray you'll never know.
To wonder why you came, where did I go wrong?
Say that people who want to commit suicide are selfish. It's not that we're selfish. We're just tired. We're done. We don't want to feel. We want to be numb. You know, there's people in this world who can bear pain, but for people like myself, I had to endure pain for so many years. And it sucks because killing myself would have been the only way to be happy, to be free. And I did it.
To dance this light. If your heart was full of love.
Men just kill themselves and no one cares. We need to change it. There's no funding for men's mental health, and it's the biggest killer for men between like 21 and 45. And no one talks about it. No one even mentions it, lad. Women talk to each other. There's no stigma on women. They sit around and have a cup of tea. Men don't, lad. Men feel like, oh, I can't go and say that to him because he'll think I'm a little mushroom. You know what I mean? That's what men think. But as I said in the cage, I'd much rather my friend come to me and speak to me and cry on my shoulder than me have to cry when I'm carrying his coffin a week later. You know what I mean?
Why do you cut yourself? Why would you ever do that? Well, here's why. If you were drowning and the only way to survive was holding on to a rope, holding on so tight gives you rope burn, but at the time you don't care about the mark it could give. You're just trying to survive. Now that's what it's like with self-harm. At the time, you're just trying not to give up. You don't think about the scars it gives. You're just thinking about how to relieve the unbearable pain in that moment.
We get what we deserve. Oh, we get what we deserve. And where down we go.
Whoa, hold the horses. Who are you texting?
No one, just my friend Avery.
Avery. Avery. Is it a girl's name or a boy's name?
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter unless it's a boy.
Pop, today is one of the many days you have been dreading since your boyfriend passed away.
but no one ever treated me like one.
I'm bipolar.
Really?
Yes. I have been since I was 15.
How come you never told me?
Well, who wants to hire someone with a mental illness and entertainment law? Aren't we crazy enough? Sorry.
So why are you telling me now?
Because you're more than work. And you should know what you're dealing with if we're gonna see each other outside of the office, which I would like. But I have incredibly low periods. So low that I can barely move. I am impossible to be around. I can barely answer the phone. I'm totally unreliable as a friend. In fact, in some ways, I'm probably the worst friend you could ever have. Don't check a single box.
I have a meeting 5 minutes.
Okay.
Phyllis, hey, those guys from admin in my office, tell them we have to cancel today. I'll see them tomorrow. Yeah, and I'll tell them I'm really sorry. You want to get lunch? In a minute. So where are you right now, mood-wise?
I'm coming off of a low. Tonight I'll be pretty manic. You're the first person I've ever told about this.
How does it feel telling me?
Like an elephant's taken one of its feet off my chest.
I'm so glad you told me. It explains so much. If anything, not knowing made it a little difficult to connect with you fully, the way I would have wanted.
You want to get a drink sometime? You want to go to the movies? You want to see people?
All of the above. You are the most fun I've ever been around. I'm not letting that go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's amazing what trusting one true friend in your life can do.
I'm Sabby, I'm 25, and I have tried everything. Talk therapy, breathwork.
I don't usually do this kind of thing because I don't like to intrude on people's privacy too much or give advice where it is not asked for. So Sabby, if this video is not welcome, please just disregard it and shrug it off. In this video, she is talking about having tried everything to feel better, really not feeling good about herself, having tried most of the methods that are offered for mental health treatment, exercise, all kinds of different stuff. And that nothing really works, and she's just trying so hard to feel better. So I got a really strong message that a lot of work has been done here. It is not for a lack of trying. It is not for a lack of applying skills and trying new things. There is so much willingness and ability to try and to do. But the lack of pleasure in life, the lack of enjoyment, the lack of liking yourself has nothing to do with that emotional processing or some mental health issue. It has to do more with a primary inability to enjoy the present moment. And that comes from practicing enjoying things. So I really feel like there's been an attempt to take out all the problematic areas, and if I can just reduce all of the problems, then what will be left is goodness or enjoyment. And the truth is, you need to practice enjoyment. You need to practice liking yourself. So you need to be adding positive rather than trying to take away the negative all the time. And it can be a really foreign concept to learn how to enjoy things. Starting really small is good. For me, I really like a heated blanket, the softest one you can find. I really like how warm and soft it feels against my skin. Another thing I love is when my dog makes eye contact with me and we're kind of like on the same page together and we're throwing a ball or we're doing something. I feel like we're really dialed in and we're having fun. So is there anything that you can point to in the physical world right now that you go, wow, I really like that?
You gave me a shoulder when I needed it. You showed me love when I wasn't feeling. How could you leave so unexpected? We waited for you, but you just left us. We needed you, yeah, I needed you. I got this picture in my room and it kills me, but I don't need a picture of my mom, I need the real thing. Now a relationship is something.
1 pine cone, 2 pine cone, 3 pine cone, 4. Raise your hand if you're mentally unstable, the rest of y'all can scroll. 5 pine cone, 6 pine cone, 7 pine cone, 8. Keep your hands raised if your second job is to dissociate. 9 pine cone, 10 pine cone, 11 pine cone, 12. My meds aren't working well, I need one of you witchy chicks to DM me a spell. 13 pine cone, 14 pine cone, 15 pine cone, 16. I'm not even real, I am not well. Then again, life is a movie, grab some popcorn, let's give them some hell.